Michael Jordan was actually born in Brooklyn, New York, but he moved to North Carolina when he was a kid. He stayed there throughout his high school years in a town called Wilmington, North Carolina. Dominique Wilkins was actually born in Paris, France, and he grew up most of his childhood in the Baltimore, Maryland area, but he also moved to North Carolina for his high school years in a town called Washington, or known as Little Washington, which happens to be my hometown. Now, you always hear this famous story of Michael Jordan getting cut from his high school varsity team. In actuality, that was more due to his size than his skill. He very much ended his years at Laney High School a star and was well known all over the country. Dominique Wilkins was also well known around the country because he was a two-time MVP and state champion for the Washington High School Pampack, my alma mater. But here's where the stories diverge. Michael Jordan goes on to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and very much becomes a favorite son of the state of North Carolina. Dominique Wilkins was also expected to stay in North Carolina, but he doesn't. He takes a left turn and unexpectedly goes to Georgia. And sadly, the people of North Carolina turned on him. They hated him for making that decision to leave the state. He goes on to become a star, known all over the country. Michael Jordan wins a national championship with Dean Smith there at UNC, known all over the country. And then the stories come back together again. 1985, Michael Jordan is up for Rookie of the Year, and they meet at the slam dunk contest. And Dominique Wilkins wins the slam dunk contest in 1985. In 1986, Jordan is hurt and Spud Webb wins. Then the following year, Dominique Wilkins was hurt, Michael Jordan wins, and this is the iconic year where he does the free throw line dunk, and his moniker was bestowed upon him, his airness and Air Jordan, that famous dunk. And so in 1988, they're both healthy and they come back. Dominique Wilkins is dead set on not letting Michael Jordan, repeat his title. And it is still regarded as arguably the best dunk contest of all time, the best rivalry in the dunk contest of all time. Michael Jordan just ekes out the win. Dominique Wilkins still to this day feels like he has been cheated. And Michael Jordan also kind of admits that he thinks Dominique Wilkins should have gotten a higher score. Now, fast forward 2 years, 1990, they've both moved on, but Dominique Wilkins gets paid by a shoe company to enter the dunk contest last minute. Nobody expected him to, and he wins in 1990, so he has his 2 titles. Michael Jordan has his 2 titles. But for me, this story is always so interesting because you have 2 kids from small towns in eastern North Carolina, which is where I'm from, and then their stories are very much together, and then they veer off, and one becomes beloved and one becomes hated, and then they intersect, they come back together again at the pinnacle of NBA stardom in this very specific set of like 4 or 5 years in this very specific rivalry at the dunk contest. And I love that story so much. I will always share it. I have always dreamt of sharing it on television. I'm looking at you, 30 for 30. But in the meantime, I will share it here with you today. So I hope that you appreciate it, and happy Black History Month.